Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with USL Dunkerque. We are now into our 6th season and we are currently looking at the board page because it gives away the least amount of things. There's a couple of little things there that you might be able to spot. For example, we are under our wage budget, which is something that hasn't happened since the dawn of time. We are in profit, which hasn't happened since the dawn of time. Also, we've signed a player called Ljubiša Kojic, because the board feel the decision to sign him is a very good financial deal for the club. In case you missed the end of the last episode, we have successfully been taken over, which is why we do have a little bit more money. Matthias Casabianca is now our new chairman. He's not invested a huge amount of money into the club. Most of that money that we've got there in the bank is because of players being sold over the course of the last 2 seasons. So it's not really all him, but I do think he has in particular helped boost the finances, particularly when it comes to the wage budget, things like that. Right, before we get into the results, because we're about 6 or so games into the season, maybe not even that far, there is a lot of transfer business to talk about. This season, I've basically gone, look, we need to strengthen everywhere, so I've gone and done that, and I've also bought quite a few youth players. First up then, the released players. There's quite a few there, particularly some names that you will recognise. Jeremy Huisman, a player who has now retired. He's been here since the start of the season. Axel Maraval, our goalkeeper, has left the club. Our young Belgian is going to be our number 2 for this season. Andy Faustin, that one I'm kind of disappointed with, but at the same time, he wasn't really cutting it now. Babatore, another player who had a lot of games for us over the years. He's still only young, actually, Babatore. I didn't realise this. He's still only 29. He's still got a few bit of years, apparently. He's got a bit of time left in him. We probably could have kept him for another season and he would have been okay. Other players on that list that you might recognise, I say other players, there's one really. Asan Mbaye, who was the left midfielder turned left back that played a few games for us, mainly in the Cup I believe. He has also left the club. Permanent deals to leave the club as well then. Rayan Kaliad, the now 18-year-old French right-back, a player who started playing a few games for us last season, has finally completed his transfer to Brentford. It has taken literally 4 years for this transfer to come through. He joined us in 2020, or 2019 I believe, and he has finally joined Brentford. That's when the deal actually was agreed as well. It was back in 2020. It's taken a long time. He has finally left the club. We are getting, in total, £800,000 for Rayan Kaliad. We'll also have a 50% sell-on as well. So if he gets good, and Brentford do sell him on for some money, we're getting half of whatever he sells for. Another player to leave the club for some money is Alexandros Katranis, a player who was quite good for us, and then we kind of started playing Samuli Kanunen. So Katranis has left the club. He has gone to Xanthi in Greece. He's gone for £195,000, potentially. Oh, it tells me there if I hover over it, potentially rising up to £245,000. It won't, because one of the contract clauses is 100 games. I don't think he's going to get 100 games, considering he's only played 115 in his entire life. 3 loan deals to talk about before we talk about the ins, and then some more loan deals to talk about, because a few players have joined the club and left on loan. Elias, the Brazilian defensive midfielder, has left the club on loan until the end of the season. He has gone to Bastia, who have just been relegated, but he is hopefully going to get an entire season of football underneath his belt playing for Bastia, because that, I think, is something that he really needs, and he is not going to be getting anywhere near the first team for a couple of years at the moment due to the players that we've currently got. Kim Hyun-jin has signed on loan for Bucheon 1995 in South Korea. The player that I bought because I thought he was a right-back, and he looked a lot better when our scout reports actually had him, as opposed to when he joined. So yeah, he's gone on loan for the year. And Northern Irish defender Paul Montgomery has also gone out on loan for the season to Crusaders in Northern Ireland. It's not the best loan for him, but if he's going to get a full season of football under his belt, which so far he's already played 5 games and got an assist for Crusaders, it's probably better than him sitting in our reserves, training at a really poor level, because we don't have good facilities here. The first of 19 players to join the club. That's right, 19 players have joined the club. Majority of them as well are on permanent deals. There's a few loans in there as well. It is Alan Varel. He has returned. He has signed a permanent contract. He's on a backup as well. He still has a lot of potential behind him. 4-star potential ability, 2.5-star current ability. I just really wanted to sign Alan Varel, okay? And I've done it now. Next up is 19-year-old French left-back Brandon Collignon has signed. He has been released from Stade Bordelais and he came through our little scouting network and I thought he looks pretty good. We've signed him. He does look pretty good. 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. Brandon will be playing a fair few games for us this season. The first of the players to come in and go out on loan straight away is Zvonimir Zubac, a Croatian striker who's gone out on loan to Laval for the entire season. He's already played 5 games for them. He has come in, free transfer. He was released by Sylvester, possibly. Sezvet, maybe? He looks really good. I can't remember what his potential is. It's something like 4-star, maybe 4.5. But yeah, I think Zvonimir is pretty good at football. He's only 20 years old as well. Next up, another player to join and go immediately out on loan. Antonio Brunetti is a French and I believe half Italian right-back, signed on a free transfer from Istres, has immediately gone out on loan to Bologna, playing 4 games already this season. 2-star current ability, he's got a bit of potential behind him as well. Physically, he's really good. Technically, not so great, but getting a season of football, playing at a lower level, might help him out massively. Joining Alan Varel from Ipswich on a permanent deal is Zimbabwean central midfielder Tristan Nidam. He spent last season on loan in Zimbabwe by the looks of it at Dynamo's Harare. He is signed on a permanent deal, free transfer. I think he is a steal. He's on a backup contract. He's on £2,100 a week. I think he is a lot better than his 3-star rating says. 4-star potential as well. I think Tristan is going to be very good for us. Another midfielder to join is Yannick Valade, signed from Stade Bordelais. We had another player who signed from Stade Bordelais, can't remember his name. 19 years old, central midfielder, but can also play as a defence midfielder and actually very good as a halfback. 2-star current ability, 4-star potential. He is probably going to get the odd game here and there, but not going to be first name on the team sheet. Next up is Ivorian left winger Ibrahim Diarra-Sasuba, maybe. He has signed on a permanent deal from Châteauroux. He was actually on loan, I believe, at FC San Pedro last season, who I think are Brazilian. I'm not quite sure, but he was out on loan there last season. 2-star current ability, 3-star potential. I was hoping he'd be a little bit better than what he is. Physically, he's really, really bloody fast. Other than that, he's not great, is he? Next up, a player who has been on my radar for a couple of years. We've had him on trial a few times. Dennis Blom is a Swedish central defender with 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. Physically and mentally, I think he is really good. I mean, some of those mental stats, the 14 bravery, 13 concentration, 12 decisions, 14 position, 11 work rate, those are pretty good for our level of football. Technically, he's not very good in the air. Can't header, 8. Can't mark at 9. Tackling's pretty good. He's probably, I think someone wants him on loan. He is one of our 4 central defenders that we have in the first team squad. I don't really want to loan him out, but if someone comes in and want to pay all of his wages, he might go out on loan. Someone who has joined and immediately gone out on loan is Brazilian central defender Vanderlei. He has signed on a free transfer and immediately joined Gazalec Ajaccio because he is fully Brazilian, and therefore we are not allowed to actually register him because we've signed some players who are also non-EU. So unfortunately Vanderlei cannot be registered, but look at this man's mental stats, positioning, teamwork, work rate, bravery, all very, very high for this level. Physically as well, he's very good. The only thing that really lets him down is his technical ability. If he plays a season of football at Gazalec Ajaccio, who are in League 2, he will improve massively over the next, 12 months? Because that's how long a year is, Stuart. Another central midfielder to join the ranks is Italian deep-lying playmaker Adriano Calzolai, maybe. Signed from Prato, he came through the random scouting thing that for some reason at the moment seems to be finding me lots of Italians. And I don't know why, but I saw him, went mentally amazing, technically amazing, physically amazing. He probably would be first name on the team sheet if we didn't have better players like Tristan Nidam and people like that. He's very, very good. I might try and loan him out. He's getting paid a lot of money though. The first of our Serbian players to join, I think we've signed 2 in total. Ljubisa Kojic, who is a right midfielder and striker, has signed on a free transfer. Previously at Borac in Serbia, he has 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. We are starting to pick up some very, very good players. He's getting paid a lot of money, nearly £3,000 a week. He is a key player, but he is our Rafael Camacho replacement because we don't have any other wingers apart from Ljubisa Kojic. Another Serbian to join and another ridiculously good player getting paid way too much money in my personal opinion, but you know what? For a player of this quality, sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and go for it. Milan Radovanovic, 20 years old, Serbian box-to-box midfielder, can also play slightly as an attacking midfielder. Again, like the Italian guy, technically, mentally, physically, he is ridiculous. For this level of football, he is ridiculous. 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. I think we've got a gem in Milan Radovanovic. Maybe that's probably... I'm going to have to just call him Milan, aren't I? We've also found a young Irish striker who, because Ireland haven't left the EU, unlike the UK, Ollie Dunkerque is able to join us and actually play football for us. He signed on a free transfer, formerly of Peterborough. He played one game there, didn't score a goal. Physically, great. Mentally, got some really good stats. Aggression might be a little bit too high for my liking. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. Has a lot of work to do in the technical department, but he's only 18 years old. And he's from the EU, so it means we don't need to worry about loaning him out. We can give him the occasional game every now and then. And the final player to join on a permanent deal is somebody that you might actually recognise. Tendai Darikwa, the Zimbabwean right-back, formerly of Nottingham Forest. His contract expired, he left the club, 117 games he played there. We have signed him as a backup right-back. His contract's technically first team, but he's not going to be our first choice right-back for this season because we have somebody better in on loan. But yes, Tendai, I think, for the age of him, I think he's a very good player to have at this level of football. He's also really good going forward, great attacking right-back. I had him on my previous save at Nottingham Forest. I can't remember whether I played him or not, but I definitely got sacked with Forest. So maybe he's not that good at football. 5 loan deals to talk about then. The first one isn't particularly impressive because I didn't realise who we were actually loaning. Francois Blanchard. He is signed on loan from Niort for the season. We're paying a little bit of his money. I blindly accepted this deal because I thought this was the player that I was signing. This was someone that my director of football went, we should loan him. And I went, okay, sure, without really looking at him. I mean, he's okay. 2-star current ability, 4-star potential. He'll probably get a couple of games because we don't have really too many wingers at the moment. Another player who has joined as a bit of a backup is Richard Griffin. He is an Irish anchorman and halfback and central midfielder and central defender and a little bit of a left back as well, on loan from Walsall. Being Irish, he's from the EU. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. The potential, not so much a problem for us, but I think because we've got him in on a backup deal, he's going to be a very good assistant for Asane, is it Asane Kamara, I think his name? The Ivorian halfback that we currently play. So yeah, Richard Griffin has also joined on loan. Next up on loan from Porto is another Italian player. This time it is Mintasinot Lucietti, who is a Mezzala deep line playmaker, central midfielder, Carrillo, and a whole load of other things underneath that list. But he is 4-star current ability, 5-star potential. He is very, very good technically as a Mezzala. 16 technique, 16 first touch, 15 passing, 13 tackling. Mentally also very good. Composure and off the ball are his worst stats at 8 and a 9. Physically very good as well. I think he's really useful. He's also a former Milan player. I think he came through their youth team, maybe? I've just realised he's actually signed for Porto in the game. Okay, but yeah. Mintasinot Lucietti has signed on loan. Now our right back for the season. I say for the season, it's not for the season at all. Ryan Birch is an American right wing back on loan from New York City. We are paying some of his wages as well. He is only here until January. The 1st of the 1st is when he goes back because we loan him till the end of the MLS season, not the end of our season, which is kind of annoying. But yep, he is real good. 4-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's got all the right stats apart from he can't cross or dribble. But I think at this level of football, 9 crossing is actually quite good. He hasn't yet got any assists, but he's getting close to them, I think. I hope. We tried to get Keanu Hoover back, but he didn't want to join us. And finally, a player who has been our opponent a few times in the past. Dimitri C has signed on loan from Aston Villa until the end of the season. We are paying £1,700 a month for this player. But you can see down the bottom there, 5 games in, he's already scored 6 goals for us. He's the only player who scored goals, by the way, but he has scored 6 goals for us. So Dimitri C has joined, and he will be our main striking threat for the season. I think that's everything. That's probably a very, very long introduction to players. So, £21,500 we have spent so far this season. We've also brought in £850,000. Quickly, we will go through the previous fixtures. We're going to do it slightly differently. Instead of going through each match one by one, we're just going to kind of look at this here. So first up against Amiens, it was a 2-1 defeat. Dimitri C does get on the score sheet, but we were not good enough to beat Amiens. We were, however, good enough to beat Paris FC thanks to Dimitri C's 2 goals up against Stade Reims in the Coupe de la Ligue first round. We lose this one 2-0, a Rodrigue Ella own goal, which was absolutely embarrassing, and Mohamed Benali with the goal for Stade Reims. Up against Lyon Duchère, a 2-1 victory here. Dimitri C, once again. Lujbi Sakojic also gets on the score sheet in the 89th minute to steal 3 points for us. Up against Angers in the league, a 1-1 draw. Brandon Collignon with the equalising goal on 71 minutes. It was a deserved point. We probably deserved more than a point really in that one. And up against Châteauroux, Dimitri C once again gets another brace. He was very, very close to getting a hat-trick in this one. Unfortunately, he couldn't manage to do it. So we are 5 games into the season. A couple of teams around us have also played 6 games. We are currently sat 3rd place in the table. It's a bit weird so far this season because I don't think we've had a particularly strong start and we're still in 3rd place. So today we are probably, 15 minutes into this episode already, so we're only going to have one match, unfortunately. It is going to be up against, who is it going to be up against? I can't remember. It's going to be Orleans, a team who I think have just been promoted, maybe? Or did they get relegated? They've just been promoted, so they got relegated the season that we came up. So this is a team that we've never actually played. Here we go then, our first time ever meeting with Orleans, not New Orleans, Old Orleans. They are currently down in 13th place in the table. They've not had a particularly bad start to the season, but as we know with this league, basically anywhere from 18th up to 5th is normally only within about 5 points of each other for the majority of the season. So we need to make sure that we are up this part. I want to be in the green or the blue bits until... Let's say, to be honest, I want to be there forever. I just want to stay in those bits until the end of the season and then play in League One next year. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? The starting lineup we're going to go for then, we are sticking with the 4-1-4-1 defence midfield wide control possession. In goal is going to be Daniel Gerrits. He is starting to slowly take over from Dylan Silva. He's not played every game, but he's played probably half maybe. So Gerrits is going to get a game today. Ryan Birch, Boris, Rodrigue Ella and Brandon Collignon will be the back 4. So in the back 4, 2 new signings in Birch and Collignon. Midfield little trio in the middle, Asan Kamara, who's just returned from an injury. Adriano Calzoli, he's going to be the attacking midfielder, or the advanced playmaker, sorry. And Lucietti is going to be the Mazzala because he's bloody ridiculous as a Mazzala. The wingers are going to be Kojic and Fekir, with Dimitri C, who has already scored 6 goals in 5 games as the striker. On the bench, Dylan Silva is there, Samuli Kanunen, the player who is an expert at giving away penalties. Radovanovic, Gvimradze, Naidam Bogle and Alan Varau are also there. You can see Waha and Darikwa both currently out injured. We've got quite a big squad now, and I'm quite happy with that because it now means that we've got the ability to rotate a bit more, which last season we didn't really have that. Quite a defensive-looking formation for Orleans. Is that Thierry Ambrose? That's the former Celtic one, isn't it? Not Celtic, or Man City, him. I mean, he's good. He's good at football. That's a concern. I mean, he's not as good as Dimitri C, but he's still good at football. Right, let's see how we will get on. I'm going to keep saying C, because our striker is called C. Because Orleans have just been promoted, I'm not sure what to expect from this team. Like I said, Ambrose, very good footballer. So they might have actually strengthened quite considerably. Getting promoted, they've probably turned professional. They may have already been professional from 3 seasons ago when they were in this league. So they're probably quite a strong side. Throw on for Collignon to take to Asan Kamara. Crossed in to find Birch. The American goes for goal and puts it into the back of the net. Ryan Birch, his first ever goal for the club. The first ever American to score a goal for Dunkerque colours as well. 21 minutes on the clock. We are 1-0 up. That goal doesn't move us anywhere in the table because other teams around us are also winning by the looks of it. But we are winning. Fekir with a free kick. Goes for goal. He's hit the bar. And Dimitri C can't manage to pounce on the rebound. Amiens are 2-0 up against Brest, so they are clearly top of the table at the moment. Yet to be defeated so far this season. Just the one draw to the name. And I think that was us, wasn't it? Half-time, 1-0 up. We are just not giving Orleans any time with the ball by the looks of it. Just the one shot for them, not even on target. no changes at half-time. We're just going to stick with this for the next, well, I say 45 minutes. We'll probably stick with this until probably the hour mark. Fekir's gone down. We're going to have a free kick. And it looks like Demore is going to get himself sent off in the first minute of the second half. That name rings a bell. Why does that name ring a bell? I feel like I've probably bought him on a previous save. I'm not quite sure. He has been sent off, but we don't get to see the free kick, apparently. We are picking up yellow cards like it's fun at the moment. Kojic, Fekir and C have all managed to pick up yellow cards. We are gone past the hour mark. We're going to see the highlight before we do any subs. Collignon to Ella, to Kamara. Rodrigue Ella has been in this club now, in this squad, for over 100 games. He is one of those players that he just does a good job. Kojic across to Fekir. He's got C in the middle. It's going to be a penalty. Fekir's going to be taking it. And their player is not going to be getting booked or anything. Fekir then up against Steve Mandanda's brother. Fekir, where's he going to go? Straight at the keeper. And that is your match over, Yasin. I'm not even going to finish the highlight. That was pretty bad. Alan Varel was going to come on. Do we do Levan Gvimradze for Dimitri C? Yes, we do, because I've already done it. We're going to go from there. Collignon with the ball. Okay, the highlight isn't going to continue. Corner for Orleans. It's gone to the front post. Cleared, but not very well. And it is 1-1. Someone that looks like a child has scored. Amin Karoui with the equaliser. This game, they've had 2 shots on target. 2 shots on target, and they're going to steal a point. We've had 15 shots and 8 on target, and they're going to steal a point. Demand more. It's not good enough. 4 minutes of injury time and nothing is happening. Hold on. We've got 1 minute and 50. Birch crosses in. Collignon with a bit of space runs into the penalty area. And Brandon Collignon has his second goal of the season. Does a lovely forward roll to celebrate. And we have just finally scored the winning goal in this game, hopefully. We've deserved to win this game. And I'm glad that Brandon has managed to do this. It's not the best finish, is it? But let's be honest, he's a left back. Birch with the throw on. I don't know whether this is a proper highlight. Kamara in to Calazzoli. It's not his name at all. Gvimradze across. Can't find one of our players. Lucietti back to the goalscorer Collignon. Stands there with the ball. The full-time whistle goes. And we have managed to just about beat Orleans. They had 2 shots and scored 1 goal. Or 2 on target, scored 1 goal. Should have probably put about 5 or 6 past them. Should have scored the penalty, shouldn't we? Well, that victory keeps us in 3rd place. Goal difference means Nancy are just above us. What did they do? What did they get up to? Did they not? They didn't get up to anything, and Amiens managed to win their game 3-1. Next episode, then, we are going to go to Nancy, and we're going to go to Nice in the end of October, so the 20th and 27th of October. 2nd place Nancy, currently 4th place Nice. I think those are going to be 2 very, very big games, and if we can get anything out of them, this might show what's going to happen for the rest of the season. So in between episodes, there's going to be just the 5 matches. Brest, Clermont-Foot, Ajaccio, Red Star and Gazélec, Ajaccio. I think we should probably win maybe 3 of those, possibly even 4, if things go our way. Thank you very much for watching the first episode of Season 6 with USL Dunkerque in Football Manager in League 2 in France. If you did enjoy, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be back next time with the 2 matches that I mentioned, which is going to be Nancy and Nice.